Hi, today is May 1st, 2018, and today I wanted to talk about the turnaround. Um, and some people might be hearing this, and they might need to hear this. Like, you've been going through, and I'm not the only person, you've been going through a lot of things that you thought that you shouldn't be going through. A lot of things that you've been doing just correctly, you've been doing by the book, and you've still been getting turned down, or you've been rejected from a job. You've been working so hard and diligently improving your craft, improving the company around you, helping and supporting people, and you've been constantly attacked. You've been going to church, you've been doing serving and doing things, or you just at school and you just, doing a lot of things, and you um, have been going out of your way to go above and beyond the call of duty, and you've been attacked and denied that access of gratitude, or denied the access of elevation or promotion. Um, just understand that God, the universal God, not the God that people, and I don't want people to get twisted when I say this. When I say universal God, I'm saying the universal God who knows everything, who hears everything, who sees everything, not the person that criticizes you on how, the God that people make up in their head that criticizes you about the way you look and the way you speak, and you don't speak like someone else who seems like they have authority or not, not that. I'm talking about the universal God. He sees everything. He hears everything. He knows everything. And he sees your works, okay? And this is a season of turnaround, okay? If you believe it, receive it, okay? It only works if you believe it, okay? Sometimes you have to go through things because it's designed to let other people see that you can make it. When I went through this stuff and I was homeless and I was like, why is this happening? Like, I saved my money. Was I being an overspender? No. No, I was not being an overspender. Matter of fact, I was being more frugal than I should have when God was telling me, do this. Was I being like bad, disobedient? No, I was clearing up. I cleared up everything. The more I tried to clear up, and the more I like repented and turned away from stuff, the more stuff I started getting attacked from and to. So, just understand that God sees everything. He hears everything. He knows everything. And the turnaround is coming, okay? Just like in the Bible, I don't know, when you look at my videos, I will always talk about Job because he's my favorite person in the Bible, because he knew Job was a just man, but he was not perfect. He just tried to please God because he knew that God was his source. He was his everything. And when he got attacked, the devil, was talking about how he went to and fro to go and to see who he can make fall. And God had to let him know, like, did you try? Did you try Job? Did you try did you try my main man Job? Like, I know he got something, and God sees that. That's what I'm saying. Like, God sees everything. He saw what was in Job. He knew what he put in Job. Even though Job was going through the stuff, he knew that Job would come out still praising the God that he served. He would not let it go. Everyone that everyone and everything that he loved so dearly, you know, was taken away from him. And that's how I felt like it was in my life. Everything was just stripped from me, especially my family. And one of the most people that I really love, I had that attachment to, was my grandmother, especially not having, the mother figure. My grandmother was my mother figure. So, and God allowed her to go, and you have to accept that. But Job was like, it don't matter. He took his wife, his kids, well, his wife was still there talking about curse God, whatever, and he like, I ain't having it. He almost did, and he went and he had to repent, like, no, 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 no. And I felt that in my soul and my spirit. Like I said, I always wanted to have this opportunity to go through it and to suffer like Job. I know that sounds crazy, but that's my personal thing. I always wanted to suffer like Job, and just, because God saw something in him that nobody else could see, that nobody in the whole wide world could see. you know. And I think that is the season that we're in right now. God is seeing. God has instilled some people to be strong in his word, and just strong enough to endure what is going on in not only our country, not only in the USA, but in our world, in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, in every place, in the UK, everything that's going on. The people are being, attacked. His people are being attacked, and he knows what he puts in his people. We are created for a time and a place. So just, and for a time such as this, I promise you, I was created for a time such as this. Nobody can tell me that. Nobody can tell me anything different. I was created for such a time as this, and I know that deep down in my soul and deep down in my spirit. How God just took over my life and took hold of it when I was in the hands and captivity of the enemy. It was talking about that in Jeremiah 29, I think 11, and then how he led Israel to go into captivity, and he stayed there. He let them stay there for 70 years. And I hope you guys read that, because it's really cool. And how, they went in there into captivity because they were serving idols. Just like when Moses went into the land and he took people, the people from Egypt. They were serving, they had got broken away from these idols, and when they left, they still had it in their minds to keep doing it, and that's why they had to keep repeating, because they weren't learning a lesson. And yeah, so that was the turnaround. When they finally got out of it and they understood and they finally broke free from it, then God was able to give them what they wanted. Just like the Israelis in Jeremiah, I think it was Jeremiah 29 and 11. I want to make sure. I think so. But anyhow, so they like went into captivity, but God had already instructed it. You see what I'm saying? And he saw it. Yeah, they was getting abused and attacked, but he took care of them. He took care of them. And when they came out polished, and they was able to be abundant and be fruitful. And it's so. That's what I wanted to talk about. God sees everything. He knows everything. Your steps are ordered. My steps are ordered. Your steps are ordered. Whether you believe it or not, it really is. And the more you live on this earth, the more you start understanding that it has nothing to do with you. You can think one thing, but it's God's will and God's way. That's the only way. Or you just gonna keep suffering and keep going through the same lessons. And when you get past that and you understand that it is greater than you, greater than anything that you can possibly imagine, then it'll get better. And you'll be in the fulfillment of God. So I want you to stay mindful of that. Keep very stay prayerful of it. And understand that your situation is only temporary. If you're going through that and you're doing the right things and things that are pleasing to God, and you are following his word, then God has no other choice but to bless you, because his word cannot be returned to him void. Okay, so and I had to remember that, because I was getting kind of weak. And he said, those that wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount the eagle. They will, mount up and, have wings of eagles and soar. And, they will walk and not faint, and understand that. Understand. Your time is coming. If you are going through what I just talked about, understand that there is hope. And there's a reason why you are looking at this video. God has nothing to happen by accident. I used to think, when God was telling me to record, like a couple of years back, when I first became homeless, he just kept telling me, record. And he told me, I was going to own a shelter. I was just like, me? No. First of all, that ain't even nothing I'm trying to do in my life ever, and, look, God is God. You see where I'm at now. You see I'm not flying anymore. You see where I'm at, serving people. As a matter of fact, I am going for a promotional interview to go for a higher position of where I was going. So, and it's still dealing with social issues, dealing with people with social services, mental illnesses, and things like that, of that nature. It's like a whole turnaround a whole huge turnaround for my life. And that's why I did label it turnaround. I didn't really think it was going to get that big. But the turnaround for my life is that I was a kid born to a mother who was addicted to drugs. My father was addicted to drugs. You know, he had these issues. And because of that, some things took place where they weren't able to take care of me to where the point that I was in danger. I was thrown in a trash can, you know. And people think that when you go through this and you have people who have issues like that, they think that their kids or their offsprings are not gonna be able to make it. And it is a chance that it's a high percentage that you become at risk. You know, I was labeled as at risk, you know, and I didn't understand what it was until as I got out of it. And then people would say, this is at risk, this is at risk. Like, well, if that's the case, my whole probability of living, it really was, you know, negative. You know, I have beaten the odds. I have gone across so many things and had so many obstacles in my life that I have overcome, you know. That's why I know that I'm not just an overcomer. I am a conqueror through Jesus Christ. When people say that, oh yeah, you're an overcomer, Bill, you definitely overcome. No, honey, no, honey. I always have to say, no, I'm a conqueror, because I see that God works on my behalf. He really, 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 really does. No matter what is going on, no matter how much I get talked about, people will belittle me, people start doing stuff to me. I mean, God shows me and he gives me little clues and lets me know, like, hey, I'm in this. All you got to do is just go, you know, and don't worry about nothing else. So, and I'll turn that thing around for you. I'll make your enemies your footstool. And I'm not saying make your enemies your footstool to where you're just bashing out, you're my enemy, because I used to think of that. No, it's to the point where it's so bad that where when they come and they see you, they know that you are anointed by God. And then they're like, you know what? It's something in her that I want to see, that I want to have a part of. So I want to follow whatever she's doing, whatever is inside of her. I want a part of that. And it has nothing to do with you. It's just God moving, you know, and that's just how God operates and moves. So I'm going to get off of here because I have to go to my interview. Hopefully something I said or done will help you stay on your journey, stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, and know that nothing on this earth happens without God's permission. So if you are in captivity, okay, and you're like, why am I going through this? This is God. It's something that he wants you to do, to surrender, to give up, to follow, to show, to lead. So you can't lead without going through something, okay? You can't lead without going through something. So just remember that. So stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Thank you so much.